What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another video. Week 9. It is crazy how fast this season is just flying by. But what I wanted to do for the rest of the season is structure it a little bit better. So we already have the two trade target and trade away targets video. Buy low, sell high is a better way to put that. We're having those on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then Fridays, today's video, we're going to do running back start sit, and then we're going to do the pass catchers and passers for the quarterbacks start sit on Saturdays. So I want to make sure you guys have all your start sit questions answered. Obviously, I can't go over every single one in these videos, so make sure you follow both me and Dare on Twitter. Our links to the Twitters are in the description box. I'm trying to answer more start sit questions. Obviously, I can't answer all of them. But I'm going to try and answer as many as I can. So make sure to follow us on Twitter. But I'm going to try and go through each game. I like structuring it this way because we can kind of get to the bottom games. You kind of know, don't start these guys. But it's just the way I like to think about the slate. Obviously, I think about it more from a sports betting perspective because I do way more sports betting than I do season long. But it's good for you guys as well because in a 60 total, you're approaching fringe players much more differently than you are a 40 total. So these are the plays at the top. If it's ever a question, you're like, should I start this guy and he's in the Saints-Rams game? Maybe just start because there's going to be 60 points scored in this game. So we're going to start off with the Rams, and this is a quick one. You start Todd Gurley. Yeah, that was nice job. pretty easy one there. You obviously can't start the backups. This is just an easy game. The Saints, you're starting both Kamara and Ingram. I believe that even if you have really good running backs, you should probably be starting Mark Ingram this week. The Rams are a good defense, not a great defense. They're just like good. You know, they're not terrible at anything. They're not exceptional at anything. They're better against the pass than they are the run, but they're not bad or great in either of those aspects. In DFS, Kamara is the better play, although Ingram is still extremely cheap. But Kamara is just also way too cheap. Pricing's weird this week in DFS. But you're starting everyone in this game. Obviously, I'm going to have a bigger breakdown on the pass catchers portion because there's so many guys. But you're definitely playing all three of the good running backs in this game. The Packers traded away Ty Montgomery for, what was it? Was it a 5th or 6th round pick? Man, I don't remember what they traded him for. They traded him to the Ravens. So now it's only Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones. That doesn't change a ton. Both of them are just going to see a little bit more elevated passing game work, but it's only maybe add a target or two to each of them. We saw last week Aaron Jones getting a little bit more involved in the offense like he should because he's the better running back. But neither of them are like must starts. You know, I think that if you have Aaron Jones and you're really going 50-50, I'd start him. Again, the high total. The Patriots are good on defense, but they do more of that bend don't break. So I think that Aaron Jones can get yards, and they're not afraid to use Aaron Jones in the red zone. Jamal Williams, if you have better options, start him. I don't think you should be starting Jamal Williams. If you're watching this video, you're probably at least pretty good. I don't know, like you don't just see your average player doesn't actually put this much effort into the start sit question. So if you're watching this video, your team's probably at least decent. You're probably not starting Aaron Jones. I'll put it that way. But that's the only two running backs you'd start. Or you're not starting Jamal Williams. You're starting Aaron Jones. I don't know what I said before. Patriots. I do not know if Sonny Michel is going to play this week. I don't believe that's been announced yet. Regardless, you're starting James White, no matter if he starts or sits. Obviously, if Sonny's out, then James White's a much better play. You're not starting Barner either way, no matter who plays in this game. You're not starting Cordell Patterson either way, no matter who's playing this game. And if Sonny plays, they're going to limit his reps, and they're probably going to air it out more against his team. But I would still play him as a flex unless you have a really good team. Like, I don't like giving start-sit if I don't know a context. Like, I don't want to say Sonny's a start because I don't know your team. So if you have solid options that you trust, bench Sonny. If you don't have anyone, play him because his touchdown expectancy in a game where the Patriots have a 31 total is pretty high. If he plays, he's likely to score a touchdown. I guess more likely than not. They're random, but he's more likely than not to score a touchdown. Bucks, just no. I know that Jones is going to miss at least this week. I don't know how long he's going to be out with the injury, but he's at least missing this week. That doesn't really change anything for Peyton Barber. They've just been so mediocre running the football, and he's not going to get passing game work. That's going to be Jaquiz Rodgers. I don't think you can start either of them, but I guess in a 16-team league, you probably have to start Peyton Barber, but don't start either of those guys. Don't expect points from either of them. Christian McCaffrey on the other side. You're obviously starting him, but in DFS, I would not play him. He's not getting any sort of red zone work. I mean, he gets a little bit, but when they get real close inside the 5, inside the 10, he's just not getting any work. He had 2 touchdowns last week. One of them was like a deflected pass, and he caught it completely random. I would not give him a high touchdown expectancy against a very good Buccaneers run defense. Could he have 7 receptions? Sure, and that's why you're starting him in PPR. But in standard leagues, like, it would not be crazy to bench him, and you're not paying the price for him in DFS. He could score, but that's a low probability outcome based off of his volume expectation. Chiefs at Browns. The Browns just fired their whole coaching staff, essentially. And when that happens, it really just depends who takes over. I don't think the team's just going to rally behind, whoever this new, I don't even know who the coach is at this point because I don't care. So don't expect them to come out, guns a-blazing for the new coach. It's not like this is some guy that everyone on the team loves. So you can start Chubb because this is not a good Chiefs run defense. This is not a good Chiefs defense in general, but they're really bad against the run. They're at home, but they're 10-point underdogs. And you know that Nick Chubb is essentially just a volume touchdown guy. So you're hoping for 80 and a touchdown. You're hoping he busts a play, he gets 100, 120 a touchdown. But it's a very real possibility. They're projected 21, which is solid. That means they're probably going to score 2 to maybe they get that 3rd touchdown. If they're in there close, they're probably going to give it to Chubb. So I'm putting Chubb maybe, 60% chance of scoring a touchdown this week? Maybe like 55, 60%. And in a standard league, you're taking that. I think you're starting Chubb in a standard league. But in a PPR league, his projection's probably like 2 receptions with Duke Johnson there. And now with the new OC, maybe they use Chubb more in the receiving game. But that's just elevated risk. So if you have better options, go there. But there's just no reason to take the risk with Duke. So I'd say if you own Duke, even in a PPR league, wait a week, see how the offensive coordinator uses him. But if it's anything like the last regime, he's just not getting enough volume. But I'll be very interested to see. I'll probably watch this game depending on what else is on at this time. I mean, I watch all the games at the same time. Just open the Reddit stream. But I'll be interested to see how the Browns offense looks this week. And then Kareem Hunt, you're obviously starting. The Browns are not that good against the run. They're pretty good against the pass. But as an 8-point favorite with a 30 implied total, you're starting Kareem Hunt, and you would start him anyway, so we don't need to talk about that. This is an interesting discussion. Kerryon Johnson, I believe he's very, very good, but Theo's coming back, and his snap count has been great. It's been going up like 10, 15% a week. I expect it to maybe be around like 70%, but they're on the road. They're not projected to score that many points, and although the totals are probably going to end up around 50, I would say, the Vikings are a very good run defense, so you're basically hoping for a touchdown. And this is assuming Theo plays. I'm pretty sure he's going to play. If Theo's out, you're playing Kerryon Johnson. Every week that Theo's out, you need to play Kerryon Johnson. But if he's in and you have better options, he's probably more of a low-end 2, I would say. I still think he has the talent to absolutely post RB1 numbers. But he does take a hit when Theo is out. And you're not starting LeGarrette Blount, you're not starting Theo, so just don't play them. On the Vikings side of the ball, even with Snacks Harrison, they were atrocious last week. Like, they've been horrendous. I'm talking about the Lions' rush defense, horrendous this season. Snacks Harrison obviously can help because he's a fantastic run stopper. They're still bad, and he was one of the higher graded run defenders last week. So I'm pretty sure Dalvin Cook's going to miss this week. They'd be smart to. I believe they have to buy that next week. Get him out this week. Have the bye to recover, and hopefully we can finally get him back after their bye. That would be week 11. Crazy. I drafted him in like the second round of our 16-team league. I'm not happy about that. But Lat, like, you're starting him this week if you've got him on your team. Don't expect him to explode, and don't expect him to get a ton of carries. I still think they're going to lean on Thielen Diggs like they should, and lean on Cousins because he's awesome. But would not be shocked if he had like 80 and 2 touchdowns. Not even in the slightest. So I would start him in any format. The Falcons Redskins game, I'm surprised. Like, I thought this total was high at 48, and it's up to 48.5. I don't get it. Like, I would put the game more at like 46. That's probably where I'd have it at. If the Redskins have their way, they're going to run it every play of this game. And they can, because the Falcons aren't that great at run defense. Now, Chris Thompson is the ideal way you attack the Falcons defense, right? Adrian Peterson is not going to get many receptions. We know he had the lucky, I wouldn't say lucky, but he had like one of his like only receiving touchdowns of his career last week. So he's not going to be involved in the passing game. So that's not, don't expect him to go out there with like 7 receptions, because we know the Falcons are terrible at defending pass catching running backs. Don't expect Adrian Peterson to be the one taking advantage of that. So if Chris Thompson is healthy enough to play, expect them to exploit that on third downs. If they get down big and Chris Thompson's healthy enough to play, expect them to exploit that over a more quicker paced comeback. But I think that, like, they're favored. Washington is favored in this game, which is a little crazy to me. With the Falcons are coming off a bye, right? I believe they're coming off bye. I think the Redskins are fine. I don't think the Falcons are that good, but I would still pick the Falcons by maybe -2. So if Vegas thinks that the Redskins or Washington is favored in this game, then I have to think you're starting Adrian Peterson even in the PPR format. And with 25 implied points, I mean, it's likely he scores a touchdown, even more likely than Chubb. So if you're looking at a guy against a bad run defense on a team that wants to give him the ball 20 to 25 times, like, I would put him at probably like 22 carries, close to 100 yards and a touchdown, and you're starting that in any format. So you're definitely starting AP. I want to hear more news on Chris Thompson, so follow my Twitter. I'll tweet out probably before the game my thoughts on that situation. You're not starting either of them in DFS. My article will go up later. It's not midnight yet. Later tomorrow, I guess. And you're going to see you're not starting either of them. The price isn't there. And you're also not starting either of Coleman or Ito. The Redskins are an elite run defense. And when you have an elite run defense, you're playing on a team that doesn't really run the ball a ton. And they're splitting time? No. I'm not starting them in any format. So they could luck into touchdowns, obviously, with 23. There could be 3 touchdowns on the Falcons side. And could Ito run one in? Sure. But it's a low variance play. So it would be on the higher end of variance, but it's a low probability outcome. So you're not starting anyone there. So AP, but that's probably all I'd really start. And I'm starting no one in that game on the running side of the ball, or on the running side of the ball in DFS. Chargers, Seahawks, probably a gross game, even with the 48 total. Not one I'm super excited about. Carson has been getting a bunch of work. He's going to get goal line work. He's going to split with Mike Davis, so it just depends who's on the field. But and Penny could be sprinkled in there. But it's Carson. You're not starting Davis. You're not starting Penny. I would start Carson. I would not play him in DFS. It's pretty clear who you're playing in DFS this week. On the Chargers side of the ball, it's all dependent on Gordon. Obviously, you're starting Gordon if he plays. If he doesn't play, you have Eckler. You're starting Eckler. It's not like a great matchup or anything, but Eckler is just like going to be the guy. He's going to be in there. They're not going to feed him. But so if Gordon doesn't play, he's probably only have 12 carries and maybe 5 receptions. But you're playing a guy like that who's going to have pretty secured role in the red zone. So if they're scoring 3 touchdowns, you can probably expect him to have 1 if they're close, if they don't just chuck it to Tyrell. But you're starting whoever the starting running back is for the Chargers. If Gordon starts, do not start Eckler. The volume just isn't there. Steelers Ravens. The Ravens are an elite run defense, but you're starting James Conner. You're not playing him under any circumstance in DFS. There are much better plays in that price range, but in season long, you probably don't have a better option. And the volume is still going to be there, right? Like they're not just not gonna play James Conner. They're not gonna air it out a bunch because the pass defense is also elite. The Ravens are awesome, and guess what? The Ravens are home. Big Ben's on the road, so you got a road Big Ben. They're gonna still give Conner his work. They're gonna still give Conner his dump off. So you're starting him in any format, but you're not starting any Ravens because I want to see how Ty Montgomery is used. The Ravens traded for him, which means if they're using him on some third downs and Buck Allen on some third downs, it means they're probably not starting Alex Collins on any third downs. And then they're splitting early down work, and it's just a mess. So don't start any Ravens running back. Completely not worth it. There's just nothing else to go over there. Could one of them score a touchdown? I mean, probably one of them will score, but you have no clue who. So don't play him. This game, I want to watch this game. This is going to be a good one. The total's not great, and it's not like a great game from like a football standpoint. But Demaryius Thomas being traded from the Broncos to the Texans to then play the Broncos this week in Denver. That's epic. That's awesome. And we're finally going to get Courtland Sutton unleashed, which, read the DFS article on Friday to know if we're playing him. We're obviously playing Courtland Sutton. We've loved him this whole season. This is it. Hopefully. It's not like the best matchup or anything, but he's 3,900, so you're playing him. But on the running side of the ball, no Royce Freeman again this week, which means that you're going to get like a 60-40 split between 60% Lindsey, 40% Booker. And Booker's basically just taken what Freeman had on early downs. A little bit of that has sprinkled to Lindsey, so he's getting a little bit more work. But Lindsey's going to get the first crack at red zone and goal line work. Lindsey's going to have less receptions than Booker, but he's still going to have in that like 4 or 5 target range. So you're starting Lindsey. Don't expect a ton, and I'm probably not playing him DFS, but you're starting him. You're not starting Booker unless it's probably like a 14 to 16 team league. Then you can think about it, but I probably still wouldn't. And you're starting Lamar Miller. He's getting enough work. He's getting enough work to be worth the start. I haven't decided yet if I want to play him in DFS. I made a lineup that I love where the last spot was Miller, but I'm probably not going to end up using it. We're going to have to see. I'm going to have to look a little bit more into the matchup. The Broncos are not a good run defense, but I guess I wouldn't even say underdogs really. It's practically a pick 'em, but just playing in Denver isn't as easy. Defenses always play better at home, but especially so the Broncos and the Chiefs defenses. So I'm hesitant with how much they're using Alfred Blue, but you're not starting Alfred Blue, and I think you're starting Lamar Miller just because his role is more secure, and I'm not fearful of the matchup. So I would start him as more of a flex option, and Lindsey as well as a better than flex option, probably an RB2. This game's gross. You're not starting under any circumstance unless it's like a 16-plus team league. Any running back on the Jets. Cannon, they're not going to give him that many. Maybe he gets 3 or 4 targets, but you're just praying for a random touchdown. Crowell's injured and not that good. Just get Elijah McGuire on your teams, guys. I am telling you, Elijah McGuire is the best running back on this offense. I'm just waiting. I don't know when he's going to come back. I haven't really heard anything, but I'm telling you, Elijah McGuire is going to be the lead back soon. Just not yet. We just have to wait for it. So don't start any Jets. This is a dreadful game. And don't start any Dolphins, honestly. Like, Drake had the touchdowns last week, but that's completely random. He's not getting enough volume for you to trot him out there each week unless your team's mediocre. We knew this was going to happen coming into this year. Gore is taking a bunch of work. I wouldn't say a bunch of work, but he's taking enough work to render them both irrelevant. You cannot start either of them and feel comfortable with it. So neither of them are plays for me. There's just not enough volume, and I make my decisions based on volume, not on touchdown luck. So Drake could be a good play again, but it's going to be completely random, and you're just going to get lucky if you play him. This game's playing right now, so I'm not going to go over it, but I will say my boy Mullins is winning me some money on DraftKings because I did, in fact, lock him in to the captain spot. I think he's at like 2 touchdowns right now. As of recording this, it's half. So whatever happens after half, or at least whatever happens during this video after half, I don't know what happened. But I need him to throw to Kittle. That'll be huge. He needs to throw a touchdown to Kittle, and I need a Jordy touchdown. That's what I need, and then we'll be raking home a lot more money. But yeah, I know defensive touchdowns. Don't want that. Two more games to talk about. They're both gross. Definitely the Monday night game. Like, I'm fine recording this during the Thursday night game because, like, what are we doing? Like, some of these Thursday and Monday games are trash, and this game's gonna be bad too. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch this game. The Titans at Dallas. I'll watch because I have to watch Amari Cooper. But man, is that bad? 40 total. You can start Dion Lewis, I guess, in a PPR league, but it's only as a flex, and you're not feeling great about it. You're starting Zeke, though. This is an easy game to do. You're starting Zeke, starting Amari Cooper on that side, just to pray that he does something. But gross game. And then another gross game. The Bills' defense is legit. That's why this total's at 37.5. Even when you can literally, like, 13.5 or 13.75 might be egregious, which is crazy to say, that 13.75 is egregiously high for the Bills. But it is. Like, they're not going to score. 5 picks Peterman isn't going to do anything against the Bears' defense. So they're going to score like 10 points. So you're just praying that McCoy gets into the end zone. So you're not starting McCoy. It would just be a touchdown variance. You're hoping that he gets a bunch of dump-offs. But that offense is just so bad that I just don't see him scoring a touchdown. So it's just he's going to get you like 9. And I guess if you want 9, I guess you can start him. And then on the Bears side, I mean, Cohen should get more work if you think how you beat the Bills defense. But if you watch the Patriots game, like, the Bears should just be like, all right, win field position. We'll kick some field goals until we score a touchdown. Like, that's literally how you beat the Bills. You don't make mistakes. You just play your offense really conservatively. You make some punts, you kick some field goals. Sometimes you score a touchdown, and then you look up and you're winning 20-3. Because the Bills can't move the ball on offense. The Bears have a very good defense. So there's going to be a ton of punts on the Bills' side, so they're just going to move the ball slowly. So it's going to be a slow, boring game. Do not watch it. Is there the only scenario where this is a good game is if the Bills get like 2 pick sixes or fumble recoveries for touchdown, and then Trubisky has to exploit Cohen, the matchup with Cohen. But that's basically it. I don't think you can really start Jordan Howard in a PPR league or even a standard league at this point. I know he's scoring the touchdowns, but feeling comfortable with it, it's not great. So I guess you could use him as a flex, but I'm not feeling that great about it. And then Cohen is like the same way. You could use him as a flex, but they're just not going to need to use Cohen this week. It's going to be a boring game with a bunch of Jordan Howard handoffs for 4 yards. They're going to occasionally hit Trey Burton over the middle. They're going to get, Anthony Miller, his like 2 catches. It's going to be dreadful. So stay away from this game. And I believe this is the next Thursday game, which actually that could be a decent one. So that's it. Look at the Vegas totals. Watch the video. You can ask us questions on Twitter. I don't want to get bombarded with a million questions. But if you have a question, try not to leave it for 12:55 on Sunday, because even if I see it in time, I will not answer. I will not answer your question if you wait until 12:55 on Sunday. I'll just leave it at that. And probably not even Sunday morning, to be completely honest. I spend way too much time finalizing DraftKings stuff. So try and get your questions in today. Try and get your questions in on Saturday. And make sure to watch the video tomorrow for the wide receiver breakdown of this, I almost said this slate, of Week 9. But that is the end of this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, how about we hit that like button? How about we subscribe if we're new? Thanks for watching.